profile over. All right, we're live. What's up, everybody? I ain't got to do all this stuff. I can just click a button and it allows me to go from the what's the call show to the live show. What's up, people? We're here. We just left the member show. That's where we sit with the members and we get our final thoughts together of all of our backup content and material for the main show. We be having some great discussions and stuff there too. So if you want to be part of that planning in those conversations, join us over there. Hit that join button, man. Become a member at the Foamy Homie level or higher, and it will grant you access. All right. And of course we do this every day. We have members content every day. And then I'm working on doubling and quadrupling the members content for you guys and gals. This week, I'm working on a video that is going to be different in the topics I cover, because I really want to get to the bottom of this Ubisoft thing, and then I'm going to let it go. So in order for me to do that, I got to talk about Ubisoft and the two gaming groups that kind of got like everybody focusing on the wrong stuff, and then talk about the right stuff to focus on. And then I'm just going to let that topic go until we see something happen. And then I got just some other general gaming things that I want to talk about that we're going to add into the mix too. So you guys are going to get a lot of content flooding in here. I'm just recording it, pumping it out. It's just a matter of me, the uploads finishing, and then, you know, me just tagging it and putting it out there for release. But yeah, that's what's going on. Cold Blood, what's up, brother? How was your metaphor stream that you did earlier? A lot of talking again?
No, actually, it was more strategizing, thinking about how to fucking get it done. Because I had two bosses in a row and I was stuck on the first one for a while.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay. We got Levinzor in the house from here. Yeah, I gotta get into that, I guess. Well, Indiana Jones is coming out. Ain't you excited for Indiana Jones?
On my PS5 Pro.
People who want to say that we're haters. Microsoft is trying this blitz with Game Pass in console in their new consoles, the 6nm chip. Oh God. You know what that feels like to me, Cold Blood? Because I'm reluctant to feel that even Phil Spencer is behind the promotion of that. I feel like Sarah Bond, who may not like understand the irrelevancy of talking about Xbox's 6nm chip. I feel like that's a Sarah Bond initiative that she's trying to push that. You know what I mean? I think even Phil he knows he cannot see what Phil will do is Phil will try to get you all excited and creamy knuckled about something that means nothing until you realize it means nothing. And once you realize it means nothing, then he's done with it. Like, velocity architecture, right? You know, you remember how that was a big thing? Now they don't talk about that shit anymore. And you know, so many other different things that they used to talk about, they don't talk about anymore. So we've already heard them, I think, with the 6nm chip talk about another console. Didn't the One X have a 6nm chip or something like that in there? Or am I thinking about something totally different?
The what had a chip?
The Xbox One X.
No. I think it was bigger.
Okay. Well, but yeah,
I think this is Phil's idea.
You think it's Phil?
Why? Yeah, why? Because he loves to get these made up fucking awards, bro.
Yeah.
Green Studio of the Year. This might be the fucking icing on the fucking cake when it comes to awards, bro. Damn.
Yeah, you could be right on that one. Yeah. To me, it's just, it's so stupid. Like, who cares? Like, are you a gamer or an activist? You know, and again, I'm not trying to say that, you know, energy conservation efforts are meaningless. I'm not saying that, but like, to really drive that home, when you, okay, it lacks self-awareness. You got one console that is using AI and machine learning, right? They're grabbing the narrative from you because, Cobla, didn't the Xbox Series consoles, doesn't it have like some type of hardware machine learning something built into it or some shit? Well, I thought.
Well, until they activate the second GPU, it probably ain't happening.
Yeah.
Never forget 25 T-flops.
Yeah, 25 T. Oh shit! Hold on, I gotta find that because I know there was an Xbox person that said that. Xbox Series. Who was that? The T-flops. Somebody said it's like, yeah. It's the Xbox Series X can effectively perform over 25 teraflops of performance. Where did that come from? I want the person's name that said that shit. Oh. Okay.
The D-Batch? I mean, that sounds like a
Digital Foundry's first-hand look at the console. Also, the Series X processor, the article reads, is so powerful it can hypothetically run 4 Xbox One S games at once. Ray tracing, which we've seen implemented in some games, such as its remarkable form in Remedy's control, will have a bigger focus on the Series X. Without hardware acceleration, this work could have been done in the shaders. Okay, it was Andrew. I knew it. Hold on, let me put this up here. I knew that someone from Microsoft had said this shit. I wonder if this dude's still here. Because if he is, then platform is still dog shit. Yeah, gotta find that. Okay, here it goes right here. Without hardware acceleration, this work could have been done in the shaders, but would have consumed over 13 T-flops alone. Andrew Gosden, Microsoft's technical fellow and Xbox system architect, told Eurogamer and Digital Foundry. For the Series X, this work is offloaded onto dedicated hardware, and the shader can continue to run in parallel with full performance. In other words, the Series X can effectively tap the equivalent of well over Cold Blood. So you better get this shit right. Well over 25 T-flops of performance while ray tracing. I knew someone from Microsoft had said this shit. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, D-Batch be smoking that shit, but I knew someone had said this.
What? A Microsoft person said that to them.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Actually,
it's
an
false.
architect.
Bro, it's actually false advertising.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is fucking criminal, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that they got fucked over so bad. These bots got fucked over so bad with all these fake ass promises, bro.
I'm looking to see if he's still here. Oh shit!
Oh no!
Nah, hey bro. No, Andrew Goss said after that shit he's retired. He says after 30 years. After 30 years and 4.5 console generations, I've retired from Microsoft. It's time for a change. I'll spend more time with my kids and then figure out what comes next. Thank you, Xbox has been a blast.
This is the standard fucking write-up of every single Xbox developer ever, bro.
Well,
remember what the dude that is now back in Insomniac said? Well, I'm gonna take time with my family and stuff.
Yep.
And then next week he said Insomniac back.
He said over the weekend. He just spent time with his family during the weekend and shit. Motherfucker was back at Sony Monday morning. Oh shit. Oh man. Yeah, that's crazy. Yep. Well, that's what happens, man. That's the life of an Xbox person. We got people in the chat shouting us out. Nevin Zor says we here. What's good, 2K and Cold Blood, says Curse Kane. Sup, MM and Cold Blood. Microsoft can't keep Junkie Jones. That shit looks like ass. Hi, MM2K, says Ice Cream Gaming. Moss says Halamoko. What's good, fellas, says Sam Walton. Yo, says Juice. And what's up, MM2K and Cold Blood, says Soldier for Life 504. Yeah, man, we just having a blast reading this shit, man. Like, look, people question why we on Microsoft's neck the way that we are. I was talking to somebody yesterday. I can't remember who. I don't know why. My mind's still a little foggy, so you got to bear with me. They were asking me why we keep our foot on Microsoft's neck. And I was like, here's what you got to understand. Oh, yeah. Okay, now I remember, because they were like, I am new to Xbox and I love what they're doing. That's what this person said to me. And I said, okay, that's cool. You can love what they're doing. I mean, I don't care. I mean, but you got to realize that there were a shitload of promises and a whole bunch of investment made from people that are responsible for this thing even still being around. So they're more vital to the platform's survival than you are, because you might like what they're doing and what they want to do for the future, but they wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for those people. And those people were fooled and tricked. I said, an example I gave is, I was like, say for instance, you walk up on a village, right? And I'm sitting there, Cold Blood's yelling at me. He's like, Moss, what the fuck are you doing? This hut should have been built, 5 hours ago. This family out here, they need a hut, and you need to, but I'm sitting there building huts with everybody else. Now, if you walk up on that, you might say, damn, why is Cold Blood being so mean to fucking MM? He's building the huts like everybody else. But here's what you didn't see. Before you came to the village, my dumbass was sitting there juggling balls of flames and shit, trying to be cute, trying to show off, and then I burnt down half the village. So now, Coldblood's like, fuck, you burnt down all of our huts and shit. You need to, ain't no taking no break, man. You better get on your ass. You better be the main motherfucker fixing this shit. All this hard work we put in here, and you came and you fucked it up. Like, come on, bro. Like, and it's not just I did it on accident. Cold Blood saw me lighting up the fire rods that I was going to juggle with, and he told me, bro, don't do that because you're going to burn down the huts. So he's run out of patience. He's like, no, you need to fix this shit. Get it together. So you guys are just walking in on the tail end of that shit, where you're just looking around, you're only seeing half of the story, and you're like, well, he's building huts. Like, no. The reason why the huts have to be built in the first place is because I fucked them up. So I need to be accountable. I need to bust my ass, and I need to get them back up. So the same thing is with Phil. I'm sorry, were you about to say something, Cold Blood?
Yeah. I just hope this story was not some foreshadowing, bro.
No, I mean, you got to take into consideration. I'm sick too. Oh, there he goes. There goes Corey Massey. There you go, brother. I've been waiting on you. Your ears must have been burning. No, Corey, I was telling him I didn't give you your time yesterday. I threw that in at the last minute. I said, so I'm gonna give Corey his time. We're gonna talk about these pros and cons a little bit more if you want to. If not, then I can dig it. But no, well, number one, you got to mind that I'm sick, so my analogies aren't as sharp as they used to be, or they was before I got sick. But yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand that Phil has fleeced, is the best word to describe it. He's got a lot of people to pay a lot of money on a bunch of empty promises. He lied to him. Like, nobody look, man, I don't believe that this fucking what's this dude's name? I don't believe that Andrew Gosson said, I'm gonna come out here and say this without they were selling you on all types of shit from Microsoft. Microsoft and Phil Spencer approved videos, Cold Blood, that they've had to mark private. Do you think Phil Spencer wasn't sitting in a meeting with this is a lead Microsoft person who was responsible for overseeing generation hardware for Xbox. He was one of those, what do they call those motherfuckers? Supposed to be the smartest technicians in the world. Fellow, yeah.
You mean talentless pricks?
He's a fellow. Shit. He's a technical fellow. And Microsoft, yeah, they everybody.
Technical. Oops, I thought talentless.
The technical fellows, everybody. I remember, when the Xbox One X was about to come out. Yeah, the technical fellows at Microsoft, they're some of the best. They do the Surface stuff. Yeah, they're the best, right? So I don't imagine that this dude, Andrew Gosson, said, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to say 25 teraflops on my own. That came from Phil. Just like when a lot of these podcasters would go meet up with people at Xbox, have dinner and sushi and shit with them. And then all of a sudden, mysteriously, they came back talking about 40 frame deltas and shit. These are all talking points that are conjured up and thrown at you. And you're like, oh, big word. Oh, big phrase. Oh. So there's like over 10 years of empty promises and fleecing of gamers. And gamers, I gotta be honest, foolishly trusting Phil Spencer and saying, look, all we have to, Phil is so cunning. He got you guys to think that you were carrying some wounded hero. You know what I'm saying? Back to the chopper, you know what I mean? Just so he can heal back and y'all can go back out and fight. So y'all were carrying him by still paying for Xbox Live, then jumping in and paying for Game Pass and buying 9 years of Xbox Live and converting it to 9 years of Game Pass and giving Microsoft all your fucking money up front. he made you believe that you were doing this for greater good because all you were, because he got wounded. It's not his fault. He was put in a precarious situation, but he's going to be the savior of Xbox. He made it seem like that Xbox went through like this big time explosion, that he got shrapnel on his leg, and he's the only one left that can save Xbox. Just get him to the chopper, get him to a med vac, and once he's healed, he's going to bring you to victory on the battlefield. When in actuality, Xbox just got embarrassed. They got embarrassed, and they lost a firm grip that they had on leading the console generation. But it wasn't that bad to where they couldn't compete anymore. They just had to realize, holy fuck, the emphasis that we put on this Kinect thing that we thought was going to blow everything out of the water, it really backfired on us. Holy shit. Okay. So now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to come out with badass games. We're going to have to go back to the drawing board, develop and partner with some badass games to supplement the fact that we don't have the world's most powerful console at the moment, as PlayStation 4 does. If they would have done that, they would have stayed in the thick of things. Would they have won? No. But they would have been very competitive, and there'd probably be a different story. But the problem is that you guys were led to believe that, everything behind the Donnie D was so much horrible and I'm so much better. No. The Xbox just got embarrassed, and they were focused on the wrong place. And yes, it was built into the core of the platform, so they could never fully recover from that and win. You know what I'm saying? Like PlayStation 3, as great as those last few years were, Xbox essentially gave up the last 2 years numerically. So that's why the console sales flipped the way that they did. Software sales, not so much. And nobody expected PlayStation 3 to, even PlayStation 3 is dominant. It's there. PlayStation always is. No one expected them to, at the last second, just totally annihilate Xbox. No, because at the core, you had the cell processor that kind of, that put them in a precarious situation. So Xbox would have gone through the same way. They would have been put in a precarious situation, and as long as they kept chipping away at making great games, they could have stayed competitive, right? But no, Phil Spencer comes in charge, and he has no idea on what to do. But the story was sold to y'all that, all we need to do is come out with a more powerful console, and all you guys got to do is keep supporting me. Keep doing that, and then when next generation comes, no. First it was, we need a more powerful console, and then we're going to get back into this fight. And when that didn't work, it was, okay, yeah, media bias. All right. Because remember when we had Major Nelson talking that dumb shit? Yeah, the media. Then it was, okay, look, we're gearing up for next gen. Media bias, and yeah. So just keep supporting us, because we got this Game Pass thing. And Game Pass is going to be awesome, and we're going to lead you into cloud gaming, and cloud gaming is going to be so awesome because of us, right? So you come to this generation, and that doesn't pan out. I mean, I'm just talking about the beginning of the generation. Keep supporting us, because you guys saw it. I don't need to bring it up. I brought it up all last week where Phil Spencer thought that they had the better software and the better hardware. I think Phil's just a bullshitter. He was bullshitting Sachi and them. He's a bullshitter. He has no idea what he's doing. He's trying a bunch of different things. He has no idea what to do. Because he cannot relate to you. The only thing that he positively has linked to you is that you have this false belief system in him. He has no idea how to capitalize on it, except for him still being around. That's the only way he knows how to capitalize on that false sense of the, So You get to the beginning of the generation. They launch with the Falconer. Cloud gaming is a dud for them, right? Oh, don't worry. Games are coming. Game Pass. And now we're here. Phil has tricked you guys into believing he was the savior when he's the root cause of the failure. You guys wasted all your medical supplies, your best surgeons, all your resources on a guy that doesn't even know how to hold a gun. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of you guys are on the tail end of that. You come in and you see Phil Spencer, just hobbling around with his bandages, cleaning them up the medical area. Hey, how you doing? Seeming like a nice guy. And then you see somebody run in, motherfucker, what are you doing here? Smacking the pencils out of his hand. What the hell is your problem? Get your ass out to him. Hold on, what are you doing? Why are you so mean to this guy? What do you mean to him for? He's a nice guy. He's all bandaged up and, he got an issue. He's limping around here. Be nice to the guy. You see that shithole that's happening out there? He's the reason because of it. He can't do nothing but be humble right now. That's part of his gimmick.
Whoa. Moss, wait.
What?
Didn't Phil Spencer save black people?
Oh shit. Don't what was I gonna say? Don't what's the word I'm looking for? Don't provoke Pastor here and shit. Yeah, don't provoke Pastor here and shit.
Oh my God! How can you say the series was made because of that,
bro? Again, that's and there's some people that
look. It wouldn't be as funny if a white dude said that, but a black dude said that about his own people, bro. Yo.
Pastor is his. I won't even claim Pastor. He's his own race. he's his own race. He's an idiot. I can't even claim him because under no shape, form, or fashion do you think an underpowered console that doesn't fulfill the promises that it was given, that's supposed to be the representation for black people or any come on, like fuck is wrong with you? He's his own race of idiot. Yeah, I mean, Pastor also represents a group of people that feel like that they have to, I guess I don't know, maybe these people feel rejected elsewhere. So because they feel rejected elsewhere, again, because Microsoft is big upon, trying to extend olive branches to people and with these messages, and said they can give you great games, so they got to do all this other shit. We got the 6 nanometer chip with the seaweed oil. We're saving the planet. They got to do all this other stuff, so these people, they fall victim to it. I just want a great game. I don't need you. I don't need a gaming company, for fucking crying out loud, to be the stewards of morality for me. I want a great game. That's it. I want a great game. Give me my great fucking game. All right. Now, if I find out that you're using child, labor and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, we got a fucking problem. I don't need you. I don't need you to try to find any other superficial angle to make me feel. I don't need you to make me feel special. Just give me a great game. Your job is to create the hardware that you promised that you were going to make, and it work effectively. All right. When we run across a particular problem, we'll deal with it. Do that first. Your gaming company make great gaming platforms and games. And then we can address everything else afterwards. I don't need you to be my moral guide in life and shit like that.
Can I speak now?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I'm looking at the like count and it doesn't look good, bro. I don't like what I see right now.
I mean, let's. I mean, you guys gave us our 10 likes, but we got 35 people watching. Can we get some more likes? Corey Massey, what's up? He says, I did my homework on that leak too, so don't leave me waiting until the end of the show. Phil was led astray by the fanboys who told him that he had to regain the power crown. No, Corey, no, bruh. No, that's not what happened. That is not what happened. Phil was not led astray at all. Phil just doesn't know what he's doing. Phil doesn't know what he's doing. He wasn't led astray. He doesn't look. Let's do this. Hold on. Here we go. That's it. Oh no, where was it? I think it was Neo there. Oh. We're gonna do this real quick. Phil Spencer took over Xbox in 2008. Prior to him taking over Xbox, here's just some, because this ain't even all of the Xbox exclusives. Here's just some of the Xbox exclusives that made the 360 such a formidable console and made it fucking awesome. And if you're old enough to remember how big these games were, it'll amaze you that these were Xbox exclusives at one time. Cameo, AM3, Project Gotham 3, Ridge Racer 6, Dead or Alive, Perfect Dark Zero. Now, granted, there was also, there's some big games for some reason that are not part of this list. Call of Duty 2, what else was there? Prey. And there was some other games that came. This is the launch lineup, right? All right, this is 2006. It's all exclusives. Far Cry, Instincts, Predator, Rumble Roses. That was huge. Rumble Roses back in the, oh shit. The Outfit, Full Auto, Bomberman Act Zero, Saints Row, which the second one was bigger, but Saints Row because we didn't have Grand Theft Auto there. Tom Clancy's Grawl, Over-G Fighter C, Chrome Hounds, 99 Nights, which was huge for the platform, Dead Rising, which was super, oh my God, PlayStation people were pissed. That was an Xbox exclusive. Import Tuner, Challenge, Dead or Alive Extreme 2. PlayStation, let's go to Xbox. Okay, Halo 3, Forza Motorsport, Crackdown, Tenchu Z, Kingo Legend of Nine, Beautiful Katamari. Katamari was huge. I mean, it wasn't my cup of tea, but it was huge back then. Project Sylphie, Dance Dance Revolution, Fusion Frenzy 2, Ace Combat Wartech, Blue Dragon, Project Gotham. All right, Phil Spencer comes in, I think, in October of 2008. So these games right here, you can't attribute to Phil. He just came into this role, I think, October of 2008, right? So the games that he started pushing through he approved of, wouldn't be seen until the earliest 2009, like late 2009, right? But we had Lost Odyssey, Cordyceps Saga, Two Human, Infinite Undiscovery. This is when they started really getting into their RPG bag. Viva Pinata, Fable 2, Gears of War 2. Oh yeah, then we also forgot Gears of War up here. But again, like I said, this is missing a whole bunch of shit. The two Dance Dance Revolutions, Operation Darkness. I love that fucking game. Kingdom Under Fire. Oh my God. Yeah, the Kingdom Under Fire games aren't up here. But Circle of Doom, Spectral Force, Guilty Gear, Naruto Broken Bond, right? Now let's get into 2009. Now we're going to start seeing a common theme here that we've been seeing throughout most of the tenure of Phil Spencer until they bought Bethesda and then they bought ABK. Halo Wars, Halo ODST, Unchamara, Bikini Samurai Squad, Magna Carta 2. That was a good one. Forza Motorsport, Lips, Indie Revolution, Race Pro, Stock Cube. I can tell you right here, none of these were anything. But you got Halo and Forza right here, right? Okay. Let's look at 2010. Look at the size of the list as Phil has taken over. Look how it's shrinking. 2010, 99 Nights 2. Now, normally at the latter end of a console generation, that's when you start getting more games because now developers have had time to develop. They're more used to your hardware. They can start, cranking out games more. You start getting more games towards the end of the life cycle, right? Oh, not here. 99 Nights 2, Lips Party Classics, Crackdown 2, Halo, Morph, and Naval Assault. Look how the same theory is applying to PlayStation. Notice their list has been growing significantly. Let's keep going on. Look at 2011. Gears, Forza, Halo. Uh-oh. Look at PlayStation, and now it's growing. What do we got for 2012? Forza and Halo. And then 2013 on the 360, we got Gears of War Judgment. Look, it speaks for itself. Bro just didn't know what he was doing. He doesn't have an eye for great games. This is the same dude that played Crackdown 3 and said this was the game that Xbox gamers deserved. This is the same dude who saw Redfall sitting in a garbage. No, that saw bleeding ass sitting in a garbage can. Pulled it out and said, yeah, put this one on a production line. This is the same dude that saw the clusterfuck and the cobwebs around Redfall and said, no, I'm going to introduce this one. Corey, the gamers didn't lead this dude nowhere. He's in a universe all of his own. He is in a universe all of his own, bro. It's crazy. He says, we the African-American delegation do not support the views and beliefs of pastor. Now, pastor's of his own race. Salute everybody. Yo, pastor on another planet. Hey, bruh. He says, now, as a point of criticism, Phil wouldn't know a good game if it smacked him in the face. He admitted to passing on a ton. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, no, and trust me, Phil is he's just no good at this. This is not the role for him. Now, I will say that the Xbox community baited him, but if you listen to our interview with Tim Dog, they didn't have to do much baiting because he loved the console war. Instead, like everybody else at Xbox was resigned. Look, at least for right now, we're at a major disadvantage. Now is not the time for us to come at PlayStation's neck. Let's build up our arsenal and then strategize a plan of attack. If we are going to attack, right? Because they were still deliberating what they were going to do. They were still wanted to support their platform. But they had Bethesda, who really wanted to continue to put games on PlayStation, and maybe that's something they would entertain. But they were going to create an advantage for their game on Xbox to gauge their attack. It was a more methodical approach. Tim Stewart, Satya, Amy Hood, everybody in the top brass wanted to do this, except for Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer decided, I don't want to do it. No. He heard the grumblings online. It kicked off something emotionally in him, and he's like, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, we're gonna fight. We're gonna compete. And unfortunately, Satya gave him the blessing, and they failed miserably. It's kind of like, you know who Phil Spencer reminds me of? I wish I could show it without it getting flagged. He reminds me of that episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where because Will was the best, the star basketball player, and Carlton was jealous that he was the star basketball player. So they're playing this real tough game at the end, and Carlton's like, no, I want to make the final shot. So he's actually steals the ball from Will, who's his teammate, and he chucks up this Hail Mary. And it, was going in slow motion and shit. And in the way that the slow motion makes you believe that, it's going to go in the hoop. And then by the time they show the hoop and where the ball's going, the ball is nowhere near the hoop and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer just basically is talentless when it comes to this. And he wants to compete so bad, but he doesn't have the skills to do it. This is not, he's not built for this. But he wants to compete so bad. And he wants to compete so bad, he'll sabotage his own team just to give it a try. Them taking Starfield, even though Starfield was just butt, but them taking Starfield and making it exclusive was such a sabotage to Xbox. Why? Because that's what led to ABK becoming a total disaster for them. Why? Because remember, ABK didn't get held up because of Call of Duty. Remember, all the regulators said there's nothing here. Call of Duty got held up because of cloud gaming. Why did cloud gaming, a nascent market, a niche market that's not part of the mainstream yet, how did a niche market hold up the largest deal ever in anything? Not just gaming, in anything? How did it do that? Bethesda. When they bought Bethesda, they promised that Bethesda would still run autonomously. All it was going to mean was their games would be better, best, or first, better, or best on Xbox and Game Pass. That's what they when they were hitting the scene. So everybody was like cool with it. So therefore, there was no pushback. Now there was rumors that they had made promises like that to the regulators, and there's been back and forth to that. But publicly, they were like, "This is not to yank anything from it. We're not taking anything from anybody." Right? And that was what the team's original approach was. But when they pulled back on that, that affected cloud gaming the most. Because Bethesda was working on something called Project Orion, which was supposed to enhance cloud gaming for multiple partners. Notice how you don't hear, look that up. If y'all don't believe me, look that shit up. Look up Bethesda. Matter of fact, we'll fucking do it here. We're not going to watch it, but we'll do it here. And then I got to battle Corey Massey on the, you know what I'm saying, on the mic. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I mean. Let's look it up right now. Okay, why is it here? YouTube is so fucking goofy. let's see, Project Orion, Bethesda. Here it goes. Okay. Here it goes right here. Project Orion, Bethesda. E3 2019. It's all right here. Project Orion streaming tech. You know, you could watch that on IGN. When Microsoft bought Bethesda, that streaming tech got shelved. So it wasn't even like Microsoft bought the streaming tech and then infused it with their stuff. We don't have any appearances of that, because Project Orion, according to them, was ready to go. Like, you were going to see it soon. And it's even speculated that for Google Stadia, they had two partners. First partner number one for Project Orion was Stadia. Partner number two was Xbox. So Xbox already knew how powerful Project Orion was. So when they absorbed Project Orion, which was already being coded and primed for xCloud, they just scrapped it. Because they're like, oh, we don't need to try to implement this anymore, because now that we own it, we don't need to like buy a license or license it or anything like that. We own the technology, so we'll just shelve it for now. Because can't nobody access it. It's rumored that threw a major monkey wrench into development on the cloud, particularly with Stadia. That's why Dov Zimmerich was testifying at the FTC trial. He is the co-founder of Stadia. So when that happened in a very nefarious fashion. You guys didn't understand what was going on because you guys weren't paying attention to cloud gaming. I pay attention to everything. And cloud gaming was my main focus anyway, but I pay attention to everything because I always try to understand what's happening at the business level, because that helps you understand what's happening long term. So when I saw that happen at the business level, I knew there would be a problem. That's why when Xbox went to go buy ABK, I knew that the cloud gaming folks, they was going to bring. They was going to be snitching like a mofo. Bring. Hello. Is this a regulator? Hello. Yeah, we're calling the snitch on Microsoft and Phil Spencer's punk ass. Hello. I knew it. I made a video in advance. I told y'all. Cloud gaming could be the reason why ABK doesn't pass. I told you guys about that. I also made a subsequent video. Call of Duty could be coming to all the cloud gaming in Stadia. You know what I mean? Now, even though Stadia, what's their name? ABC, the parent company of Google, closed Stadia before they had that opportunity. I know they're smacking themselves in the head, but even though they did that, had they let things played out, Call of Duty would have ended up on Stadia the way they always wished it would have been. But I told you guys that was going to be a possibility because I paid attention to the business in advance. When they did that, even though it wasn't public knowledge yet, just knowing the background between how Google and Microsoft and Amazon, they go snitch on each other every other day, I knew Google wasn't going to let it go. I knew the other cloud gaming platforms wasn't going to. It's reported that NVIDIA is the other cloud platform. that was snitching on the ABK deal because of what happened with Bethesda. And Bethesda only becomes a red herring for ABK because Phil Spencer went against the grain of what everybody else wanted to do. Everybody else that encompassed common sense. Everybody else simply wanted to just have it BAU, business as usual. And over time, we're going to develop a strategy because we're in a bad way against PlayStation. We don't have what it takes to compete with them. Even with Bethesda, we can't compete with them right now. We're at a disadvantage. Let's put our shit on PlayStation. Let's see how it goes. And then let's circle back and strategize later. Instead of doing that, that's where I'll lean into what Corey Massey was suggesting. He heard the grumblings from the gamers. It spoke to him because he's still in the car. He thinks he can compete. He's Carlton off that episode of Will Smith. Give me the ball. I'm going to win the game. And he couldn't shoot a basket to save his life. And he fucked it up for everybody. That goes back to my other analogy at the beginning of this. You guys were tricked into thinking that you were bringing back a wounded soldier. Get him on a helicopter. Get him to a medvac. Oh, we're going to get him back on the battlefield and he's going to save us. He's going to lead us to victory. No. Y'all went and wasted all these resources on him, neglected other soldiers that could have done the job. And now all he's doing is just limping around the office, playing with Rubik's Cubes and pencil fighting motherfuckers in the office. So as you walk in, you're new, and you see this guy, he's just gingerly cleaning up shit with Clorox wipes and, playing on this. Oh, this is a nice guy. But you see me coming in yelling at him. Why are you so mean to this guy? You don't understand the background. All of the crazy shit that's happening out there on the battlefield, it's his fault. He has to be held accountable for that. So him sitting around here just pushing pencils, fucking with Rubik's Cubes, wiping off shelves with Clorox wipes, that's not good enough. He needs to rehab that leg, get the fuck back out there like he promised. Hence, we are where we are today. And I don't think people understand that. Yeah, Phil Spencer saved black people in this case. Shout out to Geek. Xbox is gaming build back. Bringing your own games to xCloud is dropping in November. Yeah, from what I understand, KC, it's going to happen in rollouts. Like, I got it on good authority that it's not going. They're not going to just flip a switch and all your games are going to be available. It's going to happen in batches. So, we'll see. We'll see how correct that is. Crackdown 3 is dog. Absolutely, it's dog shit. Blue Dragon was the shit, Geek. Was the shit.
What? Nah. Code Eastwood told me something different about Crackdown 3.
Yeah, that
He said he only gonna have 8 hours of fun with God of War, but hundreds of hours in Crackdown. Destroying buildings, bro.
Yeah.
In the end, all he can destroy are some fucking walls in a virtual reality bullshit map, something, bro. I don't know. It's not even real buildings.
That game was so bad. It's just everything about it was dated.
But bro, you can thank Crackdown 3 for Stadia, because they started with the power of the cloud.
Oh, that ain't no shit. Hell no. That ain't no. Shout out to Jonathan with the gifted. Thank you. And Ice Queen Gaming was gifted a membership. There we go. Shout out to Ice Queen Gaming.
Someone that actually deserves it.
Yeah, exactly. The black congregation would like to trade pastor for Tim Dog. Yeah, I approve of that trade and shit. I approve of that trade. Fuck pastor. Fuck out of here. What up now that Xbox fans are saying Xbox is going to have a great showcase while Sony is having a lame PlayStation? Look, man. Andrew, at this point, look, you missed it. Oh, no, I didn't show it here. Do I still have access to it? Let me see if I post up. Did y'all see post up? Pork up? Pork up had put something up here where he was like, they could have had this console at the beginning of the generation. Where's this shit at? Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
You know what? If we had that motherfucker at the beginning of the generation, we all be hating on the standard PlayStation 5 now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
just like we do with the Series S.
Yeah, let me see if I can find this shit. Here it goes. If Cope was a real life Uber Eats driver, here you go. The post up account. So they could have given y'all a PlayStation 5 Pro out the gate. Jesus, take the wheel. These dudes laugh all out. The idiocy of that tweet is all over. It's not even good troll bait. It's just dumb, right? It's just stupid, and it's not trolling. It's because trolling has like a comical twist to it. This is just propping up idiocy. Is highlighting idiocy and say it's okay to be stupid. Yum yum yum. When the Xbox, let's use Xbox as an example. When the Xbox One X was going through its planning stage, when that was in the works, right? When they were sitting there talking about that, going through, okay, some of the baseline capabilities at first. Guess who? And we debated this for years. So he even knows better than this. We debated this for years. Guess who ordered those sock on chips to be produced? And let me give you a hint. It wasn't Phil Spencer. The Xbox One X. Yeah, when the Xbox One X was in the works, it started off with Donnie D. Donnie D ordered the socks on chips. Now again, the entire console wasn't, what was going to be in it or not be in it wasn't done by then, but that's not how these things work. They figure out components, they test out things, they come up with their, and it gets built over time. Like everything that's going into it gets engineered over time. So yes, when the PlayStation 5 Pro, just like any other mid-gen refresh, when the PlayStation 5 Pro was being thought of, those sock of chips agreements had to be negotiated at the beginning of the generation as well. It's just that the pricing for the technology, all the components that are going in it, that takes time. It's the same thing that happened with the Xbox One X. He's not oblivious to this. It's just that he's saying to Xbox gamers, look, say anything. I'm just going to argue and pretend like, oh, I'm just putting this post out here to troll. Yum, 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 yum. No, I am promoting idiocy. It's okay for you to argue stupid stuff for it to come back and bite you. Because all you could just do what I do. Just whine like a little baby about, oh, Xbox is doing this ain't right, Xbox. Instead of just holding them up to standard, period. But we've already debated this for years. That in order for you to even start on a mid-gen that planning has to happen years in advance. So yes, before an Xbox One ever was sold in the store, they were already working. Or the Xbox One X was already in the works. just like a PlayStation 5 Pro before base PlayStation 5 was released was in the works. That's how this works. But again, idiocy is the commodity over there now. Let's see here. I'm still waiting for Helldivers 2 and God of War to go to Xbox. Xbox influencers and insiders are always wrong. Yeah, or can we even call them insiders? Microsoft speaking of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, threw their ass out like Jazzy Jeff on the lawn. They ain't no more ambassadors, son. Can we even call them insiders anymore? When their ass been thrown outside? Oh shit. Funny. All right. So there we go with some of the Delulu crap that's going on with some of these people at on the Xbox side of things. Here's what I do want to do. We're going to talk about the pros and cons about the PS5 Pro. I don't really think it's it's a con. But it's more like, hey, you guys need to be cognizant of this. Hold on. No. Let me go up here and do this. Let's go to hold on one second. Hold on. Cold blood. Can you do the good people a favor? I need a couple of minutes, and or matter of fact, no, I can do this. Let me play the latest video. I gotta take an important phone call. Let me play the latest video that we have for you guys, and then we'll be right back. All right. Second. I'm sorry. Give me a moment here. We'll be right back. Sorry about that, folks. We'll be right back. You guys know I love talking all things Xbox and PlayStation. I love talking about when somebody's doing great. I love talking about when either of the heads of these platforms, like when Phil Spencer goofs up and doesn't come through with a promise, or even Herman Holst puts all of his weight behind something as crazy as Concord, right? I love giving my 2 cents about it. But this time around, we got to change it up, because I now got to ask you the question. In light of a lot of the recent events, like the reaction from the Xbox community about Tokyo Game Show. Look, the way Phil even looked at Tokyo Game Show, bro looked stressed. the reaction to Shattered Space, the demoralization of the Xbox community. Like, they're not even talking about anything uplifting on the community front anymore. The ambassador program has been eradicated. Like, in lieu of all this stuff that has hit so heavy in regards to Xbox in 2024 in not a positive way, I'm now going to turn the tables and ask you, because I need help understanding this. What in the world is a new Xbox going to do? Like, seriously, I'm not trying to be facetious. Help me understand that. Let's talk about this. Let's get into it. This is the spiel. What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K here of Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, and MM2K Gaming, back again with another episode of The Spill. This is where we talk about the latest and greatest in video gaming news, but I'm going to be honest with you. This one is going to be more ranty than anything. And I'm not going to take forever doing it because this is just like a real simple, straightforward question that I'm hoping to get help from you on. But before we get into all that, do us a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and rock those bells for notifications, please. It's like I said in the bumper, man. Like, I really woke up this morning and said to myself, I tried to imagine, I'm an Xbox gamer, right? Imagine being an Xbox gamer. And imagine investing $500 in a console. Or even $300. Imagine what you were told at the beginning of the generation, that this Xbox Series X was the world's most powerful console. And when you were asking about the power, like, how powerful is it? You know, Xbox was telling you some things in videos that they've had to unlist, right? But we downloaded them. We got them. Game Pass was supposed to be this ultimate treasure that would bring you the best in gaming. It's fallen flat. And I'm just talking pure delivery here. This is not me trying to kick in Phil Spencer's ribs. I'm just talking what the gamers have been delivered. You thought you were going to get the best games. You thought, okay, I exclusively had Starfield, which is the game of the generation. And look, even though if you want to cap for it, you guys know deep down inside you, I cannot record your reactions to this video and document it and put it on the internet. You can just say this to yourself. I know Starfield was mid. I know it was mid. That's all you got to do. Say it to yourself. I know Starfield didn't do what it was supposed to do. I get it. You know what I mean? It was not what it was cracked up to be, and it's not living up to its hype. We've seen the reaction to Shattered Space. We've seen what was the poor delivery in Redfall. We're seeing all this stuff that you guys were waiting for and you were excited for. And now it's gotten to the point that you've been disappointed so much, you don't even know if to be excited for Indiana Jones. I mean, it's not exclusive. It's going to PlayStation. So now it's got you contemplating, why did I even buy this box? Why did I spend $500 for it, $300 for it? I was told it was the world's most powerful console. I was told it was going to play 1440p games at 60 frames per second consistently. It only did that with the old games. Like the pure promise of these boxes were more active as a mid-gen refresh. You know what I'm saying? Like a second mid-gen refresh. They're great with the older games, but as far as all the aspirations and hopes that you had with the newer games, they've completely fallen flat. Then you look at the community, they don't even know, they can't even be excited about Xbox anymore. So what they've gone to, or what they've gravitated to, is hating on PlayStation. That's all they can do now. And then when you convert over to the Xbox brass, like, is there any hope there? Maybe it's just we're overreacting. Maybe we're just spreading doom and gloom and FUD, and we're just overreacting and not just enjoying games. When you look at the Xbox brass, I mean, Phil Spencer looks like he hasn't eaten in decades. Even Sarah Bond looks stressed. Like they did not look joyful. They did not look gleeful. It looks like every time they talk about this new Xbox post ABK, that it's like pulling teeth out of a freaking turtle, man. It does not look like extrapolating happiness out of these folks is plausible. Pulling teeth out of a turtle, right? So my question is, in lieu of all this mind share that they lost, in lieu of the fact that you've already had a situation where you pretty much had the lead in mind share, All right. Going into the Xbox One generation, you had the lead in mind share. It might have been ever so slight, but you still had it. And you lost it. And you were to take those years in the Xbox One generation to rebound and go full gusto and become competitive again. And for that effort to fall flatter than ever before. My question is, with this regime, if throwing everything but the kitchen sink at you, if they cannot get mindshare back, then what's the point? Why is there another Xbox? Why will there be one? And why is the community even looking at this in a comparative nature? Here's my thoughts, y'all. Like I said, we're not going to be here long this time around. I truly think that you have two options here if you're part of the Xbox community. And you either got to decide, A, are we going to be competitive, or B, are we going to kick and scratch and claw for survival? If you want to go with B, then what you need to do is support Phil Spencer in whatever he does. Don't complain about it. Just support Phil Spencer in whatever he does. The only time I wouldn't support Phil Spencer is if he's trying to build contrast between them and PlayStation. I would be like, no, Phil, stop. No, don't do this. Don't do this. Stay in your lane. Your lane is to make sure that Xbox in name survives. So how does it survive? By putting their games now on PlayStation, by continuing to draw money, and then for me, the consumer, continue to build on whatever benefits I get from being in Game Pass. As they decrease, let's try to maintain something. Okay, if I'm in Game Pass and I have Game Pass Ultimate, I'm guaranteed day and date access to Xbox games. Okay, because if I love Xbox games that much, I'm guaranteed day and date access to Xbox games. Now that there's a possibility or the talking of we're going to now allow you to play your solo purchase games via the cloud, which you need Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for. Okay, great. I don't need a console for that. I can get a Fire TV. I can play it wherever, Xbox Game Pass is available. Great. Support that, Phil. Support that. And lastly, you guys do want to make a new device. Okay, fine. I would love to have a new device that's that's licensed to play Xbox stuff, whether it's a handheld, Fire TV, whatever it may be. If you're going to support Phil Spencer, then know that your support should not go beyond supporting Phil Spencer, making this a successful third-party publishing stint that has direct-to-consumer elements to it. That's your best bet. Do not bait Phil Spencer in trying to be competitive beyond that. Their job right now is to be, again, a third-party publisher like an Ubisoft or an EA that is strong in its direct-to-consumer elements. What do I mean? Well, let me give you a prime example. Ubisoft. A lot of you may not realize this, but Ubisoft has officially released, it's not via retail, but officially released via beta, its own cloud streaming service. What you can do is go to Ubisoft Connect, load it up, and right now, I think the only game in the beta right now is Avatar, but you can play Avatar via its cloud streaming stint. And check it out. You know what I mean? See how well it works. I think it caps out at 1080p 60. Right? They're going to use that AI and machine learning from people playing it to extend it, add more games, make it broader, so then they too can exercise a direct to consumer stint where gamers can play their games without having to own a particular console or even have a PC. That not a problem. Microsoft has an edge there. Those is Microsoft's true competitors, Ubisoft, EA, all those other places. Support them in their direct-to-consumer stint, but more importantly, make sure that they're supported as a third-party publisher because that's going to be their lifeblood. That's supporting Phil Spencer. If you want to support them being competitive, then Phil Spencer has to go. No head of gaming has failed this long. I mean, it's worse than any other head of gaming ever. He has failed to be competitive. Since he's taken over, Microsoft or Xbox Gaming has went to being a competitor with PlayStation to laughable versus PlayStation to needing PlayStation to survive. Because we can't argue. If it wasn't for the absorption of ABK, 2027, like Phil Spencer said in the FTC trial,
that a damn
Xbox
meeting you went to?
now. That saved Xbox in name. To keep Xbox going under Phil, they got to do what I just spoke of. But if you want them to be competitive, Phil does not have what it takes in his mindset to know how to compete against PlayStation, because PlayStation's pure strength is quality. That's why they can get away with the stuff that they're getting away with. That's why PlayStation can go and do some of the things that they're doing. Allowing, in order for you to play their cloud streaming service, you got to own a console. You know what I mean? And some of the other more consumer unfriendly things that they, people unanimously say that they do. That's how they get away with it. Because of that. There's no other way around it. And if you can, they get away with it because of quality, and if you are not portraying quality, then you can't compete with PlayStation. And Xbox just simply can't do that under Phil Spencer. He's proven time and time again he does not have an eye for quality. So what is the new piece of hardware going to do? What is the new Xbox going to do? I hope it's limited in scope. I hope it's just about taking, again, Microsoft content and finding various ways to give it to you direct to consumer. And that's it. Just basically what EA and Ubisoft and all these other companies are going to do. Because if they're looking to do anything further, then they're sealing their fate. So that's what you can do as a consumer. You can either, continue on this path and support Phil Spencer in keeping Xbox alive in name only, or if you really want them to compete, that executive suite there at Xbox has to be cleared out, has to be replaced immediately with somebody in charge that has an eye for quality. But if you think otherwise, then help me understand and help let me know. And that's it from your boy. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below, because like I always say, I'm curious what I think. But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. They will lead you to, again, Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, and MM2K Gaming. With that said, y'all have a wonderful gaming day. Peace. You guys know I love talking all things Xbox and PlayStation. I love talking about when somebody's doing great. I love talking about when either of the heads of these platforms, like when Phil Spencer goofs up and doesn't come through with a promise, or even Herman Holst puts all of his weight behind something as crazy as Concord, right? I love giving my 2 cents about it. But this time around, we got to change it up, because I now got to ask you the question. In light of a lot of the recent events, like the reaction from the Xbox community about Tokyo Game Show, look, the way okay, sorry about that, y'all. Yeah. Crazy just happened on my end, and I might get another phone call in like 25-30 minutes, so I'm definitely gonna have to end by then. So let's do this. What was I talking about? Cold blood before I had to run away. Can't even remember that.
The cons and pros of the enhanced shit.
Oh yeah. So I'm one that totally believes, and I wanted to show this Digital Foundry footage, but we're not gonna have time to do that. We could do that like for the Friday show at some other time. I'm really optimistic. I'm getting a Pro. I'm already working on my plans to get one. Have one day one, launch day. We have a blast with it, right? Here's the problem though, which is it's not a big problem for me because it's not I mean, I don't know. I don't want to put words in the Cold Blood's mouth. I don't know how big of a problem it is for Cold Blood because we kind of expect this already. But I'm not expecting that every single PlayStation 5 Pro game that gets the Pro Enhanced label is going to have the what do you call it? It's going to have a performance mode. I don't believe so, and I'm basing that off of and I think I found the website or the web page that backs up what we've been saying here.
No, Moss. No, I think every single game is gonna have a performance mode. The problem is, is it gonna be 60? Or are we already gonna see soon those 40 FPS
performance modes?
Yeah.
See, I think that too. Like I'm gonna take it as far as, so that's a little bit of different from how I see it, which is plausible. I mean, they could have performance modes, but like you're saying, there's 60. I think that we're gonna, because I don't put nothing past developers. And my thing is if you give developers too much room to wiggle in, they're going to try to wiggle in spaces that they have no business, or not necessarily developers, but publishers, to wiggle in spaces where they don't belong. I truly do think that we're going to see games that on the base model don't have performance modes. They're just straight 30. And to get a PlayStation 5 Pro Enhanced sticker, they may just add some of the PlayStation 5 Pro enhancements visually, but not really add a performance mode. And I think what you're saying too is very true. That you're going to see games that didn't have a performance mode before get a performance mode, but what is that performance mode going to look like? It might be, like you said, just 45. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find. Okay, so here goes the rumored specs right here, right? And me and Corey Massey were debating this yesterday. It's a great conversation. In the member stream and live. Me and Corey was debating this because this is the PlayStation 5 Pro rumored specs. There's nothing that has been said that is different from this stuff here. So meaning, and this apparently is coming from a document. See, leaked, it isn't somebody got on the internet with a trench coat, say, I'm going to release these secrets, say, like there's some 1945 gangster or some shit, or, you know what I mean? Like Deep Throat and shit. No, this is somebody had the fucking written instructions or the written documents or whatever directly from Sony, and they've shared them with Digital Foundry and, more importantly, Insider Gaming. So all this has been validated. What also was released with this, what you see on the screen, is let's look here. PlayStation PS5 Pro Enhanced. which you see validated here. Okay. Huh? You don't want to pop up PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced results? Oh, okay. Well, your search engine is great. PS5 Pro enhanced sticker. Insider Gaming. Okay, here we go. So, hey, look, Tom Moore, someone let Tom Moore know that his search engine sucks. His internal search engine sucks. Because I went to Google, typed in the same thing, and it gave me the exact article I was looking for. Exclusive. PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced requirements detailed. Okay. So let's go over it real quick. The enhanced label first made its introduction into the PlayStation following the release of the PlayStation 4 Pro. For the PlayStation 5 Pro, PlayStation wants games to offer a PlayStation 5 Pro exclusive graphics modes that will combine. Now here we go. This is where Corey got tripped up on, because they want them to do this. PSSR to upscale to 4K, a constant 60 frames per second, add or increase ray tracing effects. According to the documents sent to Insider Gaming, this is possible because of the faster RAM and the GPU. PlayStation says these combined make the Pro 45% faster, yada, yada, yada. PlayStation goes on to continue that games may also be given the PS5 Pro enhanced label if they offer any of the following enhancements, right? So these 3 bullet points here, this is their preference. This is what it's saying to you, Corey. This is their preference. This is what they want people to target. However, if you can't target that, here's what else will get you a PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced label. Increased target resolutions for titles that run a fixed resolution on a standard console. Increased target maximum resolution for titles that run at a variable resolution on a standard console. Increased target frame rate for titles that target a fixed frame rate on a standard console. Inclusion of PlayStation 5 Pro ray tracing effects. For high demanding games like GTA 6, tech expert and Digital Foundry founder Richard Ledbetter said people shouldn't expect whatever, blah, 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 blah. We don't, I heard something earlier today that made a lot of sense. Number one, and we've reported it here, like Digital Foundry has been so off on many things, particularly the aforementioned Xbox One X, for one. Secondly, Digital Foundry, when they're talking about, well, all the other Grand Theft Auto games are CPU heavy and therefore they're 30 frames per second. Look, when you had a game that was more CPU intensive, back then you could save yourself a lot of heartache and just add more shit to it, to the game, and not worry about frames all like that, because 30 frames per second would suffice, or targeting 30 frames would suffice. So it caused less headache. So all the other, shit that you wanted to do, you were able to do. Now, there are bigger demands that require frames per second. And we've seen how large Rockstar Studios can get. And we've seen the amazing shit that they could do. So you're telling me that same Rockstar that can get thousands and thousands of people on the development of a game is just ass out. They're not going to find a way to, target 60 with Grand Theft Auto. I don't know. I don't know if we should be sold on that so much. You know what I'm saying? So I heard that earlier, some food for thought, and I thought it was very interesting. But yeah, that's not a requirement. It is not a requirement to have these 3 things. PlayStation games may also be given the PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced label. So they put major emphasis on this, and this is what companies do when they want you to focus on this. But, in addition, you can still get the enhanced label if you do this. But we really want you to focus on this, which I'm glad they put that emphasis on there. My problem is that if you give a publisher that's looking to be a cheapskate and get away with shit, as publishers have been doing all generation, with bad day one games and shit like that, then yeah, they'll do it. And it's not necessarily that the PlayStation 5 Pro is weak or whatever. It's putting too much trust in the hands of publishers who we've always argued here. Publishers are really the worst element in gaming. Everything that's going wrong in gaming is because of publishers, not developers. Publishers. Right? Because if you're a developer and you do something stupid, use a bad engine, come up with a bad day one patch or whatever, and I'm gonna get to you, Corey Massey. I'm not ignoring you. You do all that stuff. It's only gonna affect your project. But when you're a publisher that owns a multitude of IP and studios, and you implement something like Frostbite or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That has like just rippling effects through multiple studios, and you make it a standard, and you tell your developers, yeah, just do it because we're making money off of it. Look, I got a video coming out about Ubisoft, right? Where a lot of you that have been listening to these accounts online that are like, yeah, Ubisoft stock price is going down. Yeah, this is the end of it. And I kept warning y'all. I said, no, don't pay attention to the stock price. The stock price is not indicative of the cash flow at Ubisoft. Pay attention to how the fact that Ubisoft can still operate even though their stock went down so low. Something else is going on. Oh, no, it's the stock price. Oh, they're gonna die, yeah. And then we find out from AJ Investments that the money flowing through there is 3 times higher than what the stock price indicates. That there are internal investors, not shareholders, different from the internal investors. Shareholders have a stake in the public owning of a company. If I'm an internal investor, an angel investor, I can drop in money without ownership rights and get money back. Ubisoft is appeasing their internal investors. They're appeasing Tencent. They're using the people that don't give a fuck about what y'all say online that play these Ubisoft games. You got to remember, Ubisoft is one of the top 2 developers. This all came out in the FTC trial. Top 2 publishers, on the PlayStation Store. The biggest, baddest motherfucking console store out there. So there's some money coming in somewhere. But what happens is you have analysts of the UK market that are only looking at sales. They're not looking at a wide picture, and they're basing the stock price off of that. And you heard Ubisoft not say a peep. Ubisoft had, up until the investigation happened, Ubisoft didn't say anything about their stock price dropping. They've had some people from some of these investment firms bring it up or whatever, and they're just real ginger about it. Meanwhile, people aren't seeing their stock drop nearly as low. Or a bigger gap in the percentage. And they're laying off people left and right. You don't see shit like that happen at Ubi. Something's going on. Kept trying to tell y'all that. Oh no, they're gonna die. They're gonna die. AJ Investments does the groundwork, finds out what they invested them just because of this. They were like, let's use our money and see what's going on. They find out that there's more money flowing in there than y'all thought, and that them motherfuckers are possibly, maybe, letting that stock price drop so them and Tencent can buy the motherfuckers out at a cheap price. And guess what y'all doing? Y'all are hyping up the coin. Y'all gotta, I know I say this ad nauseum, y'all gotta know how this stuff works. Publishers are greedy. They are the worst thing to happen to gaming over the last 2 generations. Well, how come you like Sony? They're a publisher. Sony, by practice of being a platform holder, they have to publish their games. It only makes sense to publish games for the platform. What, they gonna call up fucking Nintendo? What, they gonna have Square Enix publish the games on? No. Sony's a platform maker, and their purpose of making games are totally different from an EA. EA is trying to run a gimmick. Sony's trying to mesmerize you because they want you to buy this $500 device. That's totally different. So my issue, and I'm gonna go over to Corey Bassey before I get this phone call. My issue is not that Sony is trying to extend an olive branch. It's who they're extending an olive branch to. I don't fucking trust publishers as far as I can throw them. All this shit that you don't like about gaming is from the publishers trying to force it down your throat. When the publishers started getting a bigger hand in how games are developed, instead of just handling the funding and the business and the corporate part of it, instead of just doing the corporate being a corporate middleman, when they started controlling how these games are developed at mass, that's when you started seeing all this bullshit. That's what I have an issue with. So with that said, let me go over to my brother Corey Massey. Let me address some of the things that he's got to say, and then we'll take it from there. Finally, my topic has arrived, he says. He's an M2K. What are you basing the theory off games coming out with no performance mode? Yeah, that's what I just explained, because of the practice of publishers. We've seen it. We've seen it with Gotham Knights. He says, your whole argument assumes that a game will ship without a performance mode. Yeah. Number one, let's be real here. Let's look at this from 5,000 feet. Corey, do you really believe that every single game that's going to get a PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced label is going to be a AAA game? It's going to be a fast-paced AAA game. Hold on one second. Let me grab some tissue. You could have indie UE5 developed game, right? That has 5 people working on it. It's a storybook Pentiment type game. I know Pentiment has, 60 and 120 hertz modes or whatever, but they're part of a larger conglomerate. You could have me and Cold Blood can get together, make a UE5 game that looks, visually stunning, but it's some AA game that's not really a big action game. So we capped it at 30 frames per second. And then because the PlayStation marketplace has been good to us, we want to extend it to the PlayStation 5 Pro consumer. So we add some of these PSSR effects in regards to the visuals. We're like, fuck it. We're not even concerned about frames. Our game, 30 frames is good enough for our game. And PlayStation, based upon this, said, okay, fine. Fuck it. You'll get the label based upon these bullet points. These in addition to bullet points. I get the label. So let's look at this holistically and be real here. And just recognize the fact that every single game out there is not going to be some big AAA fast-paced action game that 60 frames per second mode is going to be required. So if a developer or a publisher is like, we're not even going to We don't even, we're not even worried about that. It's going to exist. That's for one. Now, for two, which I feel like is more catered towards our discussion, these AAA games that will have these, that we're wanting these 60 frames per second modes on. Again, all I got to point to is a Gotham Knights, right? Let's just say an Avowed. I mean, look, we got a shit ton of PlayStation. We got a shit ton of Xbox. Again, this is where we're getting to the publisher thing. We got a shit ton of Xbox games that are likely going to drop day and date, that are going to be UE5, that are going to be 30 frames on the Xbox consoles, right? And they very well at launch might be 30, might be capped at 30 there. At launch. But they get a PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced label because they're using the PSSR ray tracing or whatever. It's very well possible. Like as the way things stand with Avowed right now, it looks like it's going to drop day and date 30 frames per second. If it were to drop day and date 30 frames per second on PlayStation and it does these other things, it would get the label. And they want the label. They want to expand their market. Look, the PlayStation 5 Pro market is going to be as big as the whole Xbox market. They want to extend it to everybody. And according to this wiggle room that they were given, we're talking about Xbox Game Studios here. Again, it's the publisher. It's not necessarily the olive branch that's being extended. It's the publisher. He said, who has shipped a game that has not had a performance mode? There have been only 4 games that have been shipped without a performance. Okay. Hold on. Corey, you understand that in this comment, you just proved my point. You said, in these last 2 comments, you've proven my point. Your whole argument assumes that a game will ship without a performance mode. But then you continue on to say, there have only been 4 games in total. Okay, there have been games that ship without a performance mode. I didn't say half. I didn't say all. I didn't say 20%. We just said don't expect every single game. Well, Cold Blood is saying don't expect every single game to perform at 60 frames per second. I'm specifically saying don't expect every game that gets a PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced label. If there's one game that doesn't get it, it proves my point. It proves my point. You don't think that PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced label is going to look attractive to some people who maybe the quality, the visual quality is easy for them to tweak, but the frames ain't so much, so they're not even going to bother with it. They're not even going to fuck with it. They're just going to tweak up the thingy, get that luxurious looking label on it, and sell it, and hopefully increase its sales with the PlayStation 5 Pro crowd. Of course, they're going to do it. We don't have the full time to go over it in totality, but look at how the PlayStation 5 Pro, based upon what I was telling y'all before, again, from knowing the business side, look at how the pre-orders are working out or panning out so far. Now, I'm not going to put my foot down and say, yeah, it's a total success. We won't know that until we see how it moves in stores. But I was telling people, do not base your assumptions off of what happens on PlayStation Direct, because they're just playing with numbers now. Now that they know how many they definitively got to allot to PlayStation Direct consumers, now they know how many that are left of the allotment, of the batch, of the shipment that they've negotiated to be manufactured, that they got to allot to other stores. So if all these are sold out, that's a lot of consoles. You don't think developers are looking at that and like, damn, these motherfuckers that got these PlayStation 5 Pros, they're gonna be wanting to buy games, and if they're paying $700 plus for a console, they got money. You don't think every developer is not looking at that and saying, fuck it, let's do what we can to get the PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced label on here. Now again, if that developer and the publisher's in the right frame of mind and they really care about the consumer and they're smart business-wise, they'll do right by the consumer and make sure that there's a performance mode. But if the developer and or the publisher, more likely the publisher, is on some grimy shit, they're just going to do this other to manipulate, to capitalize on that PlayStation 5 Pro audience who has more disposable income, that's looking to gobble up and buy up anything they can that they see with the sticker. That's their mindset. At the end of the day, it's still PlayStation that decides to give the PlayStation enhanced tag or not. It is PlayStation. That's why I'm saying that's the con right here, is that they're extending an olive branch to a group of people that do not always do good by the consumer. Look at how many PlayStation 5 Pro units appear to have moved already. Look at how now we're starting to see how successful PlayStation Direct was. You don't think publishers are looking at that? And they're looking at that and saying, well, how the fuck do we get that label? And they're not reading that document, and they're not seeing this. And I'm even going to argue that the vast majority are going to go towards this because that's just smart business. But everybody that's in this isn't smart. You're going to have some that are fucking greedy bastards of publishers, and they're going to take advantage of this. And to not your mother's point, that's where I would like it more defined, to not be so open here. But here's the problem. You got to understand the business sense of it. PlayStation 5 Pro is a top of the line product that's been put out there that's going to help raise margins. It's very important to PlayStation and Sony right now. But it has a bigger purpose. Its bigger purpose is to get that PSSR trained for the PlayStation 6. That's the bigger purpose. So Sony realizes that, hey, I'll argue this. If I didn't make it clear, I'm not saying that all developers, I'm not even saying most. I feel like most will try to go towards it because it's just smarter business. But PlayStation needs that PSSR, AI and machine learning training to be as large as it can be. So they want this shit to be as open to as many people as possible. So if you're just going to use the PSSR for visual fidelity, fuck it. Come on over. We realize most people will do this. But some of you fucking lazy, good for nothing bums, you'll just be happy with this. All in all, PSSR will be trained. And all we're saying is, I'm not saying it's going to devalue the play. I'm not saying, that's going to make me bad. I'm not getting my play. I'm telling you, don't expect and be prepared for the PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced games that come without the label. It could be a big AAA game from a shitty ass publisher. It'd be some AA game from some unknown. It could be Fizzle Chisel Tizzle Popper from BMO Blow, whoever it's from, or how many there is. Expect at least one. I'm basing this off of what I know from publishers, what you all know from publishers. This should not, the possibility should not stun people. He says, you aren't addressing my point. 75% of the people playing on PlayStation 5 Pro chose 60 frames per second. How do you sell your game without... Go talk to Rocksteady and ask them about Gotham Knights. Go ask the other 3 people that don't have, or I'm pretty sure there's more. Go ask the other people, Corey. Your problem is, Corey, is that you're assessing smart business sense to every publisher and developer. That's not the case. You're assessing business strategy to eventuality. Every publisher doesn't do smart business. It's elementary to you. It's elementary to me, but you're not in the minds and the heads of every publisher. Corey, just do me this favor. All you to extenuate my point. If you were at Rocksteady, would you have released Gotham Knights at 30 frames per second? Yes or no? Yes or no? That's all to extenuate my point. If you were at Rocksteady, would you have released Gotham Knights at 30 frames per second? That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. It's like I said yesterday, even though you're stuck on this 75% thing. You don't think, let me share a secret with you. These statistics, you just heard it this year, Corey. PlayStation shares these statistics with its partners all the time. PlayStation reaches and calls its developers and calls them out to Sony to see stuff, and they share this stuff with them all the time. They've been knew about this, and they still release the game at 30 frames per second. But here's the problem. They tried to they tried to half-ass it, and they tried to pass it along. And that's never going to stop. You think because something bombed? How many times have we seen shit bomb and people try it over? It didn't work for them, but it's going to work for me. You are trying to attribute good business sense to every publisher and developer. That is asinine. I'm sorry, Corey. We see it time and time again. Publishers do stupid shit all the time. I didn't forget anything. Games get backlash all the time. And publishers do the same stupid stuff all the time. Look at games as a service. Look at Concord. Corey, what are we doing here? If I wish I lived in this world that you're speaking of, where a publisher does something stupid and it's never done again. Look at all the games as a service games that they keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. Why do they keep trying? Because not only are they looking at those statistics, but they have other statistics that tell them, well, you know what? Your current demographic, there are so many people that don't care. And, or there's X amount of people that do play 30 frames per second, right? Let me give you an example, Corey. Let's do the math. And I want to put you in the mind of a business person, man. Oh my God, this is why, I'm not trying to be mean, but this is why these businesses trick y'all all the time. You think all of them are intelligent. No, they do stupid shit all the time. Prime example. Okay, 25%, Corey, I'm gonna stick on this. 25% of the 61 million PlayStation people equal 15 million. So here's what the people of Gotham Knights figured out. Okay, we're gonna make this game, we're gonna half-ass it, and we're gonna try to reach the target demo of the 15 million people. And if we can get 5 of them, 5 million people, we're good. We're good. If we can get 5 million people, we're good. If 1/3 of the gamers that have no problem, even when given an option, if we get 1/3 of those and these execs, they sit in these rooms and they talk themselves into this dumb shit. They do it all the time, Corey. He says, hold on, whoa. What did he say? He said, you forgot to he says that to make the commentary. No, Corey, now you are going into the weeds. I didn't say the whole industry. Why are you, Corey, help. This is where I got to push back and I got to call it as it is. How are you so laser focused and so sharp on this 75-25%, but you've glossed over the fact? I can't let you slide here. Do not misrepresent my words. You're stuck on the 75 and 25, but you glossed over the fact that I said, I'm not even saying most of the industry will do this. Did you not see me on the screen highlight that I feel like most of the industry will do this? But there are some people, right? Let's just say the 4 games that you said are not 30 frames per second, if that represents the actual number. Okay. Fine. How does that line up with what I said? Most people are going to do right by the consumer and do the sensible and smart thing. Some will still try to half-ass it and do this, only this. Corey, it's not wild. We just talked about. God damn, hey, stop this shit, Corey. Stop it. You're driving me crazy. Corey, I don't have to think. We just saw a publisher do it. Did we not see Gotham Knights release at 30 frames per second? Stop this, Corey. Corey likes to jump in the weeds, and he likes to be selective in what he focuses on. And it drives me crazy. I don't have to think anything, Corey. We just seen a publisher do it. But I don't have to think. Did we not see? And Corey, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to wait for your response. Because Geek told me to stop spitting on my mic filter and it's dripping now. It's dripping. It smells like the bagel that I ate earlier. Corey, I want you to answer this question for me. Do you think that the developers of Gotham Knights also knew that 75% of the people on PlayStation prefer performance modes? Yes or no? That's all I need you to know. Before they decided to go with 30, do you think that they knew? You think PlayStation held that information from them? You think that you just discovered it this when Gotham Knights discovered? That's what I want to know, Corey. That's what I need to know. Do you think that Rocksteady had that information? That's all I need to know. Do you think they had that information when they were developing the game? That's all I need to know. Not at the time of the release. Okay, fair answer. Corey, I'm here to inform you, you are wrong there. You're wrong there. These are, again, PlayStation flies. I've talked to these developers. PlayStation flies its partner developers out and they show them this stuff before you and I even get an inkling of it. It's vendor statistics. These developers and publishers and stuff like that and game makers, they can see this stuff well in advance. They already know this stuff. I am letting you know that Rocksteady was that detached from reality. That's why they defended. That's why they were out there defending, and you had developers putting out those nasty emails the way that they did, or those detached emails. Because they said, you know what? Screw it. Along with this data, we got other data that says this can probably work for us. And we're not going to put any more money or any more effort in doing so. We're just putting it out as it is. We have quarterly, we have to put this game out here and we're going to do it this way. And we believe we'll be successful. We see it all the time. When you see a game that's a specific type of game where you're like, hold on, why did they waste a whole bunch of money on that? Who wanted that? We just saw a bunch of those games fail like that. Every publisher is not wise, and every publisher doesn't work to the betterment of the company. Now, or to the what do you call it? To the betterment of the they don't work to the betterment of the to the consumer. Let me give you another example, just to show you that this was a case of a publisher really just trying to go against the grain and talk themselves into a stupid situation. In contrast, remember, Assassin's Creed Valhalla was supposed to come out and not have a performance mode. Remember that? Then they got a lot of backlash, and these statistics weren't out then because there was no console out then, right? But everybody was just sold on the promise of 60 frames per second. What did Ubisoft do? Just off the backlash alone, they worked on a 60 frames per second mode. This is Ubisoft we're talking about. Let's fast forward. Now, hopefully this is making sense to you. Let's fast forward to Gotham Knights. Years after Ubisoft, just off of consumer backlash alone, they changed their stance. What do they decide to do? Oh no, we're still putting this game out here. And they have statistics. Those statistics get shared with their vendors or their partners or clients or whatever they are in a relationship. Okay. What do you mean ran out of time? What do you mean ran out of time? Was there an explosive strapped to the developer's chest? I don't understand, Corey. Now you're going into the weeds now. I'm trying to understand, bro. This is no longer a debate. He says Gotham Knights released without a performance mode because they ran out of time before the release and just put the game out, and the game bombed, and they abandoned the game. And he's trolling me. He's got to be trolling. He's trolling me, right? That was hold on. I'm not looking at
it, bro. Keep going. I love it.
No, Corey. No. They put the game out at 30 frames per second because they thought they could get away with it. They ran out of time. wait, you gotta release this game or I'm pressing this button. What are you talking about? Brother, it's not infinite time. Bro, did you just hear the example I gave? That's why I said you're not being real now. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. What was it, like a month or a couple of months before launch? Your whole theory's blown up here without statistics, without data, and one of the most nefariously negatively looked at publishers out there, Ubisoft, was under the same scenario. And what did they do? Did they run out of time? Did ye say, oh no, you got to release this at this time? Did he do that? No! They went back and put it in performance mode. I don't need to look up the PlayStation 4 release because we had Arkham Asylum. I mean, not Arkham Asylum. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That was also cross-gen. No. One group, cross-gen game, no statistics. Did right by the consumer. Other group, statistics, decided, no, we're just going to push through and we're just going to do this. And they made a stupid decision. How did they have player preference data from a game before the you're not paying attention. That's why I said I don't even know what you're swinging at anymore. Again, I'll repeat it. Cold blood, let me know if I'm misspeaking here. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, no statistics. You're now using my points and trying to argue my points against my points. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, no statistics, just off of consumer backlash. Stop the game. Stop moving forward without a performance mode. Added the performance mode in, right? Just a few months before release. Rocksteady, with statistics, decided we're still pushing through. We're still doing 30 frames per second. Had the developers talking negatively about 60 frames being overblown and all this other stuff, and it bombed. Corey, I don't know what you're trying to argue anymore, brother. I don't know what you're trying to argue anymore. Because the argument here, the debate here is, hey, with Sony giving this much wiggle room to a publisher, will a publisher attempt to get a PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced label without a performance mode? I'm arguing yes, they will. I didn't say all of them. I didn't say half of them. I didn't say most of them. I said at least somebody will try it. You really proved my point a half an hour ago when you said there's only 4 games that have 30 frames per second mode. Okay, there's 4 games without 30 frames per second mode. One of which is the subject of our discussion right now, Gotham Knights, released with statistics that showed that people were preferring performance mode. In contrast, you had another company that is nefarious. Look, they're even being investigated right now. They had an investor pull their skirt up and say they're doing something nefarious. Even they went back to the drawing board and added a performance mode with no statistics. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, That feeds my narrative, Corey. And I'm sorry, my good friend, you haven't made your case. That feeds my narrative that there are publishers that are that nefariously minded that would try it. Did I say all? No. Did I say half? No. Did I even say most? No. I said some. Might only be a handful, but they're going to try it. And Sony has left the door open for them to still get it. Why? Because Sony wants to feed the PSSR. So I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. How did they have? Oh no. He said you got to open a Discord or something. We got a Discord. You should. If you, Corey, you're a member. So what you got to do, bro, is if you connect your YouTube account to your Discord account, it'll automatic. Well, no, here, hold on. I ain't got to do that. I mean, you're going to get member benefits in the Discord. Here, let me do this, bro. Number one, here, yeah, and I'm glad that Corey put this in here or brought that up. Discord, because I'm in the process. I got sick and I kind of got pushed to the side, but that's the Discord. So yeah, Corey, just click on that and hop in the Discord, bro. I mean, we can't finish the debate today. We'll do it some other time. But yeah, no, whenever we want to have a debate and we want to get in the Discord, we can definitely do that. And the other reason why you guys want to get in the Discord is because when we go make our own Discord, it's going to be popping. So everybody that's part in the Discord, we're going to have it systematically set it up where it rolls you over. So you keep the Discord locked. No, I keep the Discord channel that I'm on locked. But if someone's like, hey, look, man, no, let's you know, we got to battle this out. You know, I'll hop in one of the open channels. You know, I mean, we got to keep it real. I don't want Phil Spencer coming in here. Oh, screw you, see? I don't want him coming in here. You know, we got to protect the podcast versus the angry bots. But no, if you guys want to have something now, we can go to one of the open channels and do it. But yeah, definitely do that. And when I'm gonna start doing game streams, I'm gonna be in the open channels anyway. We can talk our shit in there. But yeah, definitely. And then we're gonna reconfigure it, and it's gonna be a lot more user friendly and all the other stuff. But yeah, definitely just doing it right now. Just doing it right now for situations like this, Corey. And in the future, when we go into the more user friendly, more efficient podcast. All right, I gotta get out of here, y'all, because I was supposed to get a call back by now, but I gotta make an important phone call. I appreciate everybody. Sorry for that timeout. Crazy stuff happening over here, but we'll be back tomorrow. Thank y'all so much, and check out Cold Blood Stream. Okay, like I said, we got member content coming too. We're gonna talk more about Ubisoft. And yeah, join that Discord. Shout out to Corey. Thank you, Corey, for being a good sport. He says again, the point was whether a game would get the Pro Enhanced label. That is the point, and I think that's been proven right here, right? Right? Yeah. They said you can get the Pro Enhanced label, or you can get it this. We really want you to do it this way. This is what we really would like for you to do. And most people, because they rely heavily on PlayStation and they have a good relationship. Look, I don't care what nobody says. Nobody has a better relationship with developers than PlayStation. Nobody does. Trust me, I know. Nobody has a big and small. Nobody likes developers, or there's no other platform that developers like more than PlayStation. They love PlayStation. So because PlayStation has a great relationship with developers, I feel like the overwhelming majority are going to try to target this. But everybody's not good-hearted. And everybody doesn't make smart business decisions. And you do have some execs at these companies that are dumbasses. I'm sorry. I know that too. And you're going to get some that are going to try. And my response to it would be, see, Sony, maybe you can't give everybody nice things, for one. And my direct message to that publisher is, fuck around, find out. Okay, you got your PlayStation 5 Pro in it, but we ain't stupid here. How dare you don't have a performance mode here? That's all we're saying. All right, brother, definitely will do that. All right, let me get the hell out of here. Thank you, Corey. Thank y'all, everybody, for it. Another great show. Thank y'all for everybody in the chat. Corey Bassey, everybody. T. Harris, I see you screaming like the world ended. Be careful. I scream. That's what I do. You ain't seen my movies? Deep Blue Sea. All right, let me get out of here. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.